What is going to be Rhymestyle here? Today I'm bringing you some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse news courtesy of Shonengamez, who was at New York Comic Con a couple days ago, and he had a chance to interview one of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse developers and ask quite a bit of questions that we as a community want to know for the longest. So without further ado, let's talk about a few key things, no puns intended, that were said in that interview. Now of course, if you want to see the full interview, I will link that in the description below. But for now, let's talk about a couple things that were mentioned, starting with key clashes and beam struggles. Now of course, if you played the beta this past couple weeks ago, you probably noticed that key struggles or beam struggles and key clashes, whatever you want to call it, were not present in that game. This doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be present in the final game though, which is why I want to bring this up. When the question was brought up to the developer, will there be key clashes in the final version of the game, the answer that he gave them was that it's not built yet. It's not considered yet, and it's something that you can't talk about yet. It's still kind of in the developmental stages, so until they decide internally what they can and can't do with the engine, they don't know if it's going to be in the final version game or not. Now, a lot of people already brushed it aside because they saw that it wasn't present in the final version of the game, but the reason why I wanted to bring this up in the first place was so you know that, just because it wasn't built in the alpha, which means early, does not mean that it's going to be that it's not going to be in the final version of the game. As soon as we find out some more, I will let you guys know, but for now, just know that not being an alpha does not mean that it's not going to be the final version of the game. We'll find out as we go, but again, I just want to kind of point that out that key clashes may very well return in the final build of the game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is creators and damages, which is something else that I'm sure you guys noticed, but in the beta, open network test, whatever you want to call it, when you blasted the ground or you hit the ground, you probably noticed that battle damage was definitely present. Creators would pop up every now and then, but the problem was they would disappear really, really fast. Now, the reason why it disappeared was because it was a limitation with the engine itself of the game, and they don't know what they can and can't do yet. Now, their goal is to make it so when you do damage the ground, it stays that way. But again, it also comes down to the limitation of the hardware as well as the engine that they have to play with. So we don't know what the final version will have yet. Now, again, their goal is to make it so when you blow a hole in the ground, it stays that way. But, they can't confirm that yet. It wasn't present in the beta yet because they don't know, what they can and can't do. So again, this is something else that we have to kind of wait until the final version of the game comes out. Again, just pointing out that it's a goal to make battle damage to the environment stay as the battle progresses. Now, obviously, if it ends up becoming a problem, if, for example, the PS3 or Xbox 360 can't handle it, there's a possibility that it will be on a PS4 and Xbox One, since it's a more powerful system, that will be able to handle that kind of damages. But again, we don't know anything yet until the final version of the game comes out. So don't judge that yet. Again, this goes back to the whole alpha thing. Don't judge the alpha yet until, final decisions haven't been made just yet and stuff. So, yeah. Again, we'll find out more on creators and battle damage of environmental battle damage as time goes by. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is definitely a question that I myself had, was will there be hairstyles and more customization options for your characters? And the answer is yes. I'm actually really excited about that. My one problem about Dragon Ball Xenoverse's open network test was they were only like, even though that the character creation mode was pretty well built out, even in the beta, my only problem was there weren't that many options for faces or for hairs and stuff like that. And I was really hoping that the final version of the game will let me do something wacky, like have even Hercule hair. Imagine being a Super Saiyan character with Hercule hair and having like it go blonde. That would be hilarious. Now, the question that was brought up in that interview as well was, will there be more options? And the answer was yes. Not just yes, but yes in terms of you'll actually be able to even unlock stuff, you'll be able to find stuff, you'll be able to like find stuff. So you'll have like the set options that you'll have for your character, but you can also unlock them as you go. In terms of what you have to do or how you find the stuff, we don't know yet. But they did mention that there will be stuff that you can find and unlock as you play the game. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that I don't have to just stick with one hair, because really the only thing about the beta that bugged me was there were only two cool hairstyles. That was Gohan's hairstyle, and then the other one that was kind of shorter for Saiyans. And everybody essentially had the same hair in the beta, so I'm glad to hear that they will have more options when the game comes out. The next thing that I wanted to cover is the replay value, and well, not really the replay value, but the question was brought up, will there be replay value for the game? And the answer was yes. You have essentially you have two aspects of the game. You have the main quest, which is basically your single player mission where you go back into the Dragon Ball Z timelines and fix what was broken, and the other aspect, the other aspect of the game is side quests, which you can do with friends. Now, from what he made it sound like is you can do the main quest with a friend in co-op, which that's the idea I got out of it, but I don't know. When you watch the interview yourself and see how he sounds, but he definitely says that you have the part where you play the main quest and go back and find the try to repair the timelines, or And or you can also play a side quest with your friends. That's kind of how you made it sound like that. You know, there's a single player mission and then there's a multiplayer mission that you can do with friends. Now again, as soon as you find out more details, I'll let you guys know. But I just want to kind of point out that it made it sound like that the campaign is single player, while the side quests and extra missions that you can do by talking to random Z Warriors or NPCs, you can do that with friends. Similar to what we saw in the beta when you're able to do a parallel quest where you like fought like Goku and Piccolo, or you train with the Z Warriors. Again, as soon as we find some more details about that, I will let you guys know, but I just kind of want to point that out, that there's a possibility that the campaign will only be single player, and the side quests and stuff you can do co-op. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I've already discussed before, but it's been completely confirmed that there's no QTE cutscenes in the game at all. Now, to those who know what that is, QTE cutscene is when you're playing a game and it pops up saying, press B, press A, press X, press up and down, press Konami code for stuff to happen, and if you press it, then you know your character basically is stuck in this cutscene, and if you press the button, the cutscene progresses, whether it's like an ultimate attack or something. Naruto games are famous for it, and actually, matter of fact, not even Naruto games, but Ultimate Tenkaichi was ultra famous for it, because Ultimate Tenkaichi was essentially just a QTE game the whole time. Now, I've already mentioned that there will be as very little cutscenes as possible in these fights, because their goal, they being Dimps and Bananamco, their goal is to put you as a player as much control as possible. They want you basically to decide everything that happens. If you want to dodge, if you want to be able to get blasted with the Father Son Kamehameha and you want to be able to still dodge it, they want to put you in charge as much as possible with everything that gets thrown your way. And I'm a big fan of that, because, you know, the only thing that I never liked about the Dragon Ball Z games before, well, I liked it because it looked epic, but I didn't like is when you get thrown into an ultimate attack and you just can sit there and just basically take the damage. I mean, Raging Blast, if I get a Spirit Bomb thrown at me, then I'm just stuck there watching that cutscene. Versus in this game, I have the option to do something, whether it's to dodge or fly away or, you know, all that good stuff. So there will be no QTE cutscenes at all. This was said word for word in that interview. So yeah, so again, I just wanted to cover those key things, because I know this is stuff that we've all been asking for. The primary thing that I got out of that interview was the fact that there will be more customization options, as well as the ability to unlock more stuff to add to your character as you play along, and that makes me pretty excited. So the replay value will definitely be there. So now that I got that out of the way, I want to know what you guys think as a community. So feel free to address any of the stuff that I've mentioned below. Also, if you watched the original interview, which I strongly recommend you should watch it, if you watched the original video, feel free to come back here as well and mention stuff that was brought up in there. There was, I think someone else mentioned something else. No, never mind. I'm just thinking. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to think out loud and stuff. And yeah. But again, if you go watch the interview and you see anything else that specifically said in the interview, feel free to come back over here and we'll discuss that as well. But I just wanted to primarily cover beam struggles, because that's something that's always asked. Environmental damage, because that's another question that pops up a lot. And then my thing that I wanted to myself was the customization option, and the answer is yes. So I kind of got to know a little bit of what we wanted to know and stuff. I don't know. Alright guys, I'm obviously rambling right now, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. So feel free to leave your comments below, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you think it was helpful or whatever, leave a like rating below and we'll just take it from there. My name is Rhymestyle. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see all you awesome people in the comment section below. Stuff. Yeah. Super sandwich time! Seriously, it's super sandwich time. I'm hungry. I'm about to go make the sandwich. It's going to be the most epic super sandwich of super sandwiches. Yeah! Alright guys, peace. I'll see you guys in the comments.